Good morning, class. So in last class, we'll discuss about some unidirectional. We'll take as in laminate plate, and we'll take as delta 1b and delta 2b, and delta 1a is equal to delta 2b, and delta 2a is equal to delta 1b. And finally, however, taking unidirectional square plate of same dimensions w into w into t out of large composites lamina of thickness T and conducting the same case A and B experiments, note the deformations. See here, this is an laminate. This one is case A, and this one is case B. So this load is parallel to the plane, and this one is second one is normal to the plane. So here two types, one is parallel and the second one is normal. So W is thickness and at one side, and another side W is and the second thickness. So here you can take case A and case B, and T is the thickness of lamina. So see in first diagram, this one is undeformed state. So there is no change in length and there is no change in diameter because of there is no application of load here in case A also, and case B also undeformed state. And next we need to apply some load like tensile or compressive or bending depending upon the application. See here, so W plus delta 2A, so W increases plus delta 2A. This delta 2A is nothing but a change in length. And second side, and in second section, say case A, second side, and see W plus delta B. So here increasing the load, so thereby increasing the load, thereby some change in width, and either increasing or decreasing depending upon type of load. Suppose we need to we need to apply tensile load. So tensile load. So normal deformation of square plate taken from an isentropic plate under normal loads. So he see listen here, undeformed state delta 1a is equal to delta 2a, and delta 1b is equal to delta one side of b. See, you can already we can discuss here delta 1a is equal to delta 2b, and delta 2a is equal to delta 1b. But in normal loads, the deformation of square plate, we can take it as delta 1a is not equal to delta 2b, and delta 2a is not equal to delta 1b. So here some increasing length here, some suppose here due to the application of tensile there is increasing length, and so here the load is applied to the parallel to the axis here, but the load is applied the perpendicular to the axis. This one is a normal load. So here these are both are not similar, so unequal because the stiffness of unidirectional lamina in the direction of fiber is much larger than the stiffness in the direction of perpendicular to the fibers. So here the stiffness of the unidirectional lamina in the direction of fibers is much larger than the stiffness of direction perpendicular to the fibers. The mechanical characterization of unidirectional lamina will require more parameters than it will for an isentropic lamina. Okay, let us discuss some important equations and derivations. See here, stresses on infinitesimal area of arbitrary plane. Simply you can write stresses on arbitrary plane. See, this one is arbitrary plane. So suppose we can take it as delta Pn, delta P, and delta Ps. See, Pn means normal, the load acting at normal to the plane, and P means general load acting at a plane, and Ps means parallel to the plane. So delta P is acting on a area of delta A. This force vector has a component normal to the surface. So let us, I will write an equation. Listen carefully. Sigma n is equal, that means stress at normal section limits delta A tends to 0, delta P S divided by delta A. So this one is the stress equalizer generalized equation section at normal load, limit delta A tends to 0, delta P N, sorry, not PS, N means normal load, S means parallel to the plane, N means normal to the plane. The load act normal to the plane. The equation is sigma n is equal limit delta A tends to 0. Next, tau S, limit delta A tends to 0, delta Ps divided by delta A. So here Ps means the load acting at parallel to the plane. So here tau means shear stress produced due to the application of twisting moment at any component. So sigma n is different from the tau S. So here the component of stress normal to the shear surface sigma n is called normal stress. This is normal stress. And the stress parallel to the surface tau S is called shear stress. So this is normal stress sigma n, this is shear stress tau S. So if one takes different cross section through the same point, the stresses remains unchanged, but two components of stress, normal stress and shear stress, will be changed. So see, the most important point is if one takes a different cross section through the same point, so the stresses remains unchanged, but two components of stresses, so this one is only one component, these points are unchanged, but two components is changes with their stress, normal stress and shear stress. So these should be these points should be remembered, everyone. And we know the right hand coordinate system x, y, z and cross section are parallel to the yz plane. Let us will discuss. We will discuss about right hand coordinate system. Sigma x is equal limit delta A tends to 0, delta Px by delta A. So the load acting at x component, and tau xy. So shear stress limits delta A tends to 0, delta Py divided by delta A. Next one, tau xz plane, xy plane, xz plane, limit delta A tends to 0, delta Pz by delta A. So these are the similarly stresses can be defined cross sectional parallel to the xy and xz planes. For defining all these stresses, the stresses at point is defined generally taking in at right hand coordinate system. So tau xy is equal tau yx, tau yz is equal tau zy, tau zx is equal tau xz. See, xy and xz, and here from the right hand coordinate system, 9 different stresses acting at a point. At each point, the 6 shear stresses are related as tau xy, tau yx, tau yz, tau zy, tau zx, and tau xz. So the preceding 3 relations are found by equilibrium moment. The infinitional cube, the 6 independent stresses, the stresses sigma x, sigma y, sigma z, and sigma yz. So what are the 6 independent stresses? See, sigma x, sigma y, sigma z. At the same time, tau yz, tau zx, tau xy. So these are the 6 independent stresses. So a tensile normal stress is positive, a compressive normal stress is negative. So a shear stress is positive if its direction and direction of the normal to the face and act to positive or negative direction. So otherwise shear stress is negative. So these are the generalized equations of Hooke's law from the stress strain diagram. Next class we'll discuss about strain. So till now we calculate stress only at normal load, at parallel, and at x direction and y direction and z direction, and the total 6 independent stresses. So next class we will discuss about strain points. Thank you.